Welcome back to Straight Facts. It's Christmas Eve. This is fucking hot. I shouldn't have done it, boys. I am genuinely boiling, but welcome back to the Football Terrace. It's Christmas Eve. We're here with Straight Facts. We've got Staffy. That's LB. We've got Staffy. Husam is joining us soon as well. I'm actually not a Grinch. I love Christmas, but there's a reason for this. Later, I'm scaring the shit out of my children later, and I'm buzzing about it. Gentlemen, how are you both? You well?
Good, man. Good. We're both in the mud, innit? But it's what it is. It's what it is.
Different mud, but we're in two different types of mud. But yeah, I could say we're both in muds. That's for sure.
Yeah, I quite like mud.
Are you all right, bro?
No.
It sounds like he's suffocating. I'll be honest.
Oh man, what's going on there?
Yeah, right? I can't really breathe. But now listen, we are in the mud. Loads to talk about today. A bit of transfer news as well, as that's picking up because the window's only a week away from opening. Of course, we're looking ahead of the Boxing Day fixtures as well. But I did want to start with Man United, Staffy, because it was an horrendous weekend for us. It now turns out we've got a rat or a mice infestation. The media are coming for us left, right, and centre. How are you feeling about it all right now as a United fan?
About the club or about the loss? Because they're two different things, honestly.
Start with the loss.
Yeah, listen, it's never good to lose a game of football, no matter where you are. If you're already in the mud, or even if you're in good form and you still lose a game, it's never a good feeling. But I can't lie and pretend that it wasn't really expected. I mean, we sat here on Friday, Straight Facts, and I didn't even predict a win. I said we'll probably draw. And speaking to a lot of United fans, a lot of us were saying maybe we'll draw, maybe we'll drop points. So that just kind of shows you that we didn't really predict the best of games. Now, obviously, when you look at the game, there is a situation where I'm like, well, if we were a little bit better going up front, we wouldn't have lost that game because we did create 4 big chances. We did miss a lot of chances before we conceded these goals, you know? So it's kind of on the players, but I believe I tweeted that right out during the game or right after the game, something like that. I said basically it's the same thing that I've seen already a few times. It's one of those games where I felt like we should have done better, but we were let down because of individual quality again. And we all saw it. We saw Bruno miss the chances. We saw the poor defending from Mazraoui on that penalty. We saw the poor defending from what's his name, Lissandro again. Bruno giving up the ball in a couple of these goals that led to eventually these events happening. You know, so it's the same thing on a different day. You know, am I overreacting like everyone else though? Nope, I'm not. I'll tell you what. It's been snowing here in Jersey in about 4 days. So when Amarim said get ready for the storm, I got ready for the storm. I have my cup of tea ready. I'm staying warm. I got my soup in the fridge. I have everything ready for a storm. So when he was saying get ready for the storm, it has to get worse before it gets better, he wasn't joking. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people losing it, saying change this formation, switch it back to a back 4, as if it was working when we had a back 4 to begin with anyways, you know. So I'm seeing a lot of people lose their heads, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. Yeah. You guys need to be ready the United fans, you need to get ready to be in the trenches for a little bit. If you thought the last 10 years was trenches, these are real trenches. I'm talking about Arsenal first 2 seasons under Arteta type of trenches. Like these are real trenches that we're about to be into, and I don't think it's for the weak. If you have a weak heart, I have bad news for you. Maybe don't turn on the TV for the next couple of years. It's gonna be difficult for you.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I big up Husam as well. Now, big up. The thing is, yeah, I've been saying this for a long time. These United players are trash, innit? Yeah, and whilst obviously Ten Hag made it worse because he's a really, really bad manager. Like, there's only so much Amarim's going to be able to do here, guys. Yeah, there's only so much Amarim's going to be able to do. So, listen, Amarim might make mistakes. He might make, positive strides. But until United have a clear out, of those players, they're going to be a mid-table team. I mean, that's just the truth and the facts of the matter. You don't have to get emotional about it. You don't have to get all upset about it. That's just the truth. A lot of these players are unreliable in terms of injuries. Get rid. And by the way, I've got the same thing at my club. We'll come on to City later. I've got the same thing at my club. Unreliable. Get rid of them. Yeah, because what we're doing is, we're moving into an age where there's more and more games, more and more competitions. You need players that are reliable. So maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever, or maybe a decade ago, where you could kind of get away with a couple of these players. You can't get away with these players anymore. Get rid of them. Promising players, if they're not showing promise by the age of 23, 24, 25, get rid of them. You're not a nursery. You're not here to hold these players' hands forever. At some point, the players have to deliver and repay the sort of investment that you put in the player. So for me, at United, if they don't get a lot of these players, you're just going to get the same thing. And eventually, people start turning on the manager because that's how it goes. So Amorim, I like what he's doing. I like the way he's handling the Rashford thing. He's making it clear you're gone. And I think he needs to do that with a lot more players. But obviously, he can only tackle a certain amount. We are still in the middle of the season. There's only so many players he can get rid of in January. So let's see how he gets on, man. But I think it's the right approach.
Can I ask you a question, LB, about the Rashford situation? A lot of the media here in England are starting to push this narrative that the only reason Ineos are looking to get rid of him is because he's on big money. It's not about they're forcing him out, they're being nasty to him. It's nothing to do with his performances. It's purely to save money. Do you think there's an element of truth to that? Or do you think that's gaslighting United fans when you look at the last 18 months of performances of a player like Marcus Rashford?
Well, you could rephrase the question and say, would United want to be getting rid of him if he was on 150 grand a week? Maybe, but they probably wouldn't be in such a rush. Yes, so there probably is an element of truth. How much is he on? 350?
350, yeah.
So when you're on £350,000 a week, there is an expectation, and this is a really fair expectation, that you ought to be delivering pretty much world-class performances on a regular basis. And that's not controversial. He's on 350 grand a week. So I think there probably is an element of truth in that sense, we're paying you 350k a week. We're paying you money which goes to world-class players, and you're not giving us world-class performances. If he was on 150k a week, would they be so obsessed about getting rid of him? Maybe, but they'd probably be less stressed about it because he's on 150k a week.
Of course. And this is what I've noticed in the last couple of days. And I know it's Christmas Eve. For some people, it's a time of hope and happiness, and it is for me, but I can't today. The lies I'm seeing in the media today are driving me insane. And I hope that every media outlet pushing this bullshit gets banned from Man United by the club. And also any fan who opens the door to the wolf, lets the fox in the chicken coop. I hope they're ostracized as well. And I want to give you guys an example. The way people are siding with the media over this is crazy. There's articles today that say, let's take a look at the first year of Ineos at Man United. The agreement was a year ago. They didn't get in until 21st of Feb. They spent 3 months doing a thematic review before they brought anybody into the club and made any changes, which is normal. So they've had 6 months of actions. They've made mistakes, and I will not deny those mistakes. But this idea that they've been here a year makes it sound like there are 2 transfer windows when they've had 1. Disingenuous as fuck. They keep pushing the lies that they want the taxpayer to pay for the new stadium. It isn't true. There's some massive own goals. I wouldn't have taken away the bonuses, the £100 bonuses for the £40 vouchers. Wouldn't have done that. The mice infestation, before any of you boys bring it up, I'm going to bring the rats up, right? I'm going to bring it up. It's embarrassing. No one's going to deny it isn't embarrassing. But let's be frank. Let's be frank. This is why I don't side with the media. How horrendous is that on a scale of 1 to 10 that Man United Stadium doesn't just have mice, it's in the food areas? 10. Cool. So when Ineos sack the person in charge of that tomorrow, the media will then go, oh, they've sacked somebody from their job. How bad and horrible were Ineos? This is the problem. They want the media push for United to be ruthless. You've got to be the best of the best. You've got to have the highest standards. We sack people for having low standards. You scumbags. I'm not having it. There are certain decisions we've made I don't agree with. Getting rid of a £250,000 Christmas party. What part of our football club deserves £250,000 on a Christmas party? Not the footballers. No one. The whole club is. If we've got rats in the food, if the stadium leaks, how the fuck does anyone deserve anything at the club? No one does. I'd rather the money be spent getting rid of rats, right? But I am sick to my back teeth of everything they do being twisted. And I want to throw this out there as well. I wanted the Qatari owners. So please do not twist what I'm about to say as a negative towards Qatar, because I've got no problem with the people that wanted to buy the club or the nation at large. Spent time there, loved it, okay? If they were here They wouldn't be spending much more money because clubs are restrained by PSR. This idea that have come in, yeah, they can write the debts off of their own money, but all that gets offset because they've invested it against your PSR. We'd be in the same position whether the debts were gone or not, okay? But let's say they did write the debts off. Let's say they did do the Christmas party. In fact, fuck that. Let's say they spent $500,000 on the Christmas party. Do you know what these same, everyone going, yeah, Ineos are bad. Do you know what the same media would be saying that you're siding with? They'd say, how dare those workers do that? How dare you spend that money that's created from oil which is ruining this planet? How dare you spend that money from a country that does X to women, does Y to homosexuality, harbors this person, has this political view? They'd be doing the same thing, but in a different direction. And LB knows this because of who his owners are. Newcastle fans know this because of who owns their football club. This is why I'm absolutely fuming with Man United fans. I get you didn't want them, okay, and have your gripes, but don't side with the blood-sucking media that would be attacking us no matter who our owner is. And by the way, once we start getting things working well, which I believe will happen, they'll then attack us for something else. They're not on your side. Do you want to know why? I've run this through two different systems, and I'm trying to get the exact answers. There's been almost 6 times as many articles in a year written about Ineos at United than was ever produced about the Glazers in 20. Where are all these these people with moral high standards for 20 years when our club was being pillaged? Listen, I'm criticizing those players. They deserve it. I want a squad overhaul. I'm embarrassed that we've got mice in the stadium, but I am not siding with the blood-sucking leeches, which are the media, that no matter who our owners are, no matter how good or bad we're doing, they're always going to look for the negative. So Man United fans on that front, please do better. They're gaslighting you every single step of the way. They truly are. Trying to make us believe that Rashford's only being sold to save money. No, he ain't. They're trying to sell him to take the 350 grand a week wages to give it to a player that might deliver for us to make the team better. They did this to Arsenal. Arsenal lowered their wage bill in the first couple of years under Arteta and co. It's now £60 million higher than when he arrived. Chelsea dropped their wage salary massively because they had players like Lukaku that were eating it up. Now it's slowly on the rise again. Man United are not selling players like Rashford so that Ineos can keep that salary each week for themselves. They're doing it so they can reinvest it into better players, but it's going to take time. Have some goddamn patience. Call out the problems, but please, I beg, final thing I'm saying on it, please don't side with the mainstream media. Newspapers like the fucking Sun. Come on! Do better. Do better.
Don't buy the Sun, number 1. Number 2, big up everyone watching. Make sure guys are liking and subscribing.
Merry Christmas. Fucking hell.
I was, obviously, I'm doing this show because Dan Potts couldn't do it. Big up to Staffy LB as well. And listen,
Dan Potts
Man
is
United
ducked,
need
son.
to thank...
He's ducked, bro.
Yeah, he's ducking the smoke because Saka's injured. Look, Man United need to send a thank you letter to Terry Flewers, to Saeed, to Rants, to Mark Goldbridge, and to other United content creators. Staffy.
It was my name.
Because
yeah, but you're tiny. Hang on, you're tiny compared to the juggernauts he mentioned, bro.
I can get a little thing. It's okay. It doesn't have to be big. Thank you.
Big up Staffy as well. Yeah, maybe big up Staffy and Greg's and everyone. Anyway, point is, listen, Man United at this point, it's becoming a genuine joke. Like it's going from joke to even worse joke to even worse joke. You wake up one day and then there's a roof leaking, and then the roof leaks in the middle of Amram's bloody press conference, and then the day after there is a mice infestation, and then they lose 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. Like it's just we've all went through banter eras. I went through banter era. I saw Roy Hodgson manage my club. We were really bad. That bastard came out publicly and said we're not too big to avoid relegation. I remember Maxi Rodriguez scored the winner against Bolton away from home. We won 1-0. Torres assist, and like, oh wow, we made it out of 17th. So I've seen bad times, but this bad is just it's just hilarious. I'll be honest with you. Now, when it comes to the media use all the big clubs for clicks. This is not just special to Man United. They use all the big clubs for clicks, whether it's Liverpool, United, Arsenal specifically, Chelsea to a smaller degree. City, no one gives a fuck about, and it's proven by their bad run right now. It's way less worse than when mainstream media, I'm saying. Me, I'll always cook City. But when it comes to Man United, look, there is so much problems at Man United. I don't know where you start with solving them. Like it's just so much problems on happening at Man United right now. Whether it's the mice, whether it's the results on the pitch, whether it's the players, and at some point in time, you're gonna have to back the manager. You're gonna have to back Ruben Amorim and go like, okay, listen, you want to get rid of Rashford, get rid of him. I'm sure it's not for monetary reasons, because it's not like Man United are lacking in the money department. If it were for monetary reasons, then you could offload Casemiro to Saudi Arabia. You could sell, and if it's just about the money, you could probably get more money for like a Diallo. Maybe you could get more money for a couple of players in the squad. So I don't think it's just money.
You mean Delo, don't you? Not Diallo.
No, Diallo.
What would we say?
Ahmad.
Yeah. I think because of his age and stuff, you could get maybe a bit more money than you could.
We're not selling him.
Why
him.
would you?
He's only got a year
That's the
to
point.
play
Anyway.
Husam.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. I'm saying you're not selling just for money causes. You're selling it obviously because a player is not good enough or etc. That's why Rashford and Garnacho have been singled out, because it's fair to say in this Amorim run, like they've been one of the worst players. Maybe Bruno is next. Maybe whoever's not performing is next.
Yeah,
but Man United are irrelevant right now. That's just the reality of the
That is
situation.
we're not.
You can do this whole hated, adored, never ignored. It's just not
true.
reality anymore.
It's true. But it's like you always do. You are going to
Even on my shows, when United lose, it's no longer news.
I'm going
I
to
just
do it.
carry on.
This
It's just normal.
I am triggered by it. But look, you say things like City are irrelevant, but you talk about them all the time. If someone's irrelevant, you don't talk about them.
I said mainstream media. There's a difference.
Yeah, but so they're relevant to you, like Man United.
Yeah, but I don't do stuff about Man United anymore. Oh, Man United.
Okay, so I expect you moving forward.
Anyway,
I go to your channel.
Yeah,
no watch-alongs for United. I don't want to see no more watch.
I want to see none. As I'm
When's the last time I did a United watch along? I had the choice between Chelsea and Everton, and I did.
I'm just saying. I'm expecting
Everton,
United.
No more from you. Moving on slightly, because of interest of time today being Christmas Eve. United a link today. Sasha Tavernlieri has said that. Listen, he's used the phrase, which is personal terms won't be a problem. I interpret that as personal terms have been agreed with the agent. He states that Man United have had talks with Victor Osimhen's agent and personal terms will not be a problem. It does depend on sales, but it looks as though players like Casemiro, like Rashford, could be sold in January. Staffy, would you be happy with Victor Osimhen coming in to lead the line and score some goals for us?
I will be happy with LB signing for us to play striker, because he can't do any worse than what Hojlund is doing.
Are you sure, bro?
I'm just saying, bro. At this point, anyone.
I don't know if you know this. Guess where LB plays on the football pitch?
Left back.
LB.
Well, no, I
his name is
used
LB.
to, but I wouldn't play there now, innit? Because I'm tall.
He fully is a left back, by the way.
I had a big growth era.
Are you right-footed or left-footed, LB?
I'm right-footed, bro. I was like Yao Cancelo, bro. I was. Thing is with me, I peaked.
So you couldn't defend.
Wait, how tall are you?
Nah, I'm 6'3" now. But when I was a kid, obviously.
6'3", yeah, you're a centre back.
I've met you, LB. I'm not saying you're lying, LB. I've met you, LB. I didn't think you were that tall when I met you. But you,
I'm 6'3", bro.
No, I met you. Just sometimes you forget. But no, we did meet a couple of times at Content Awards, didn't we? I swear we did.
Yeah. Staffy LB centre back partnership, 6'3" both. We'll do well there. We'll be good in there.
Yeah, I ain't doing a show where I'm standing next to you three. I sod that. Do you know what I mean?
I'm the shortest one on this panel.
And I'm not even that short. I'm 5'10", but yeah, I'm not standing next to you three. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
But no, back to the point. Osimhen, yeah, listen, I would take him. Number one, it's such an easy answer to say yes, just because of how bad our two strikers are. So I'll be honest, you'll probably give me 10 names and you'll ask me, is this an upgrade on what we have? And I'll say yes. But here's the thing. Osimhen is a good striker. I've given him criticism in the past before because of his overall game. I didn't think he was as hyped or as good as a lot of people said. But in terms of being a striker that actually offers a little bit of threat in a box, that will give the center backs that he's playing against a rough day, someone who can move in the box, someone who can make runs in behind, someone who's a little bit more physical. Maybe his hold-up play is not good. Ball to feet is not that great. But in terms of just being that old school striker who just offers a threat, yes, we need that. We have Hojlund, who focuses every game on wrestling. He thinks this is WWE. This is why we call him Jack Swagger. He goes every game and all he does is wrestle with defenders. And you see him going against Archie Gray and Jagusin, some of the most average center backs. I like Archie Gray, but he's not even a center back. And you just see that he offers nothing for 90 minutes.
What are you going to do with him, though, bro?
Next game right after, they concede 6 to Liverpool.
Shows you sell him, bro? Hojlund, Zirkzee? I mean, you've only spent £100 million on these strikers, so what are you going to do with them? Are you going to sell them?
Sell him.
Yeah, but here's the thing, LB. Are we talking about sales to bring in Osimhen, or are we talking just about the idea that we need strikers? I think we need strikers no matter what situation we're in. If we're trying to win now, if we're trying to rebuild now, wherever you are as a football team, you always need a striker that scores goals. That's one thing it's not disputed. So even though we're in a rebuild, if you have a chance to sign an Osimhen, you're gonna get him because of the situation with Napoli as well. I believe the signing will cost about 60 mil. That's less than what we paid for
60
Hojlund. Now,
62
moving on, Hojlund will be an issue. I
62
agree with you.
62 million euros. But I don't know if there will be that big an issue. Like both players are on about 85 grand a week, which again, to you and I, it's loads of
I'll
money.
be talking about how much we already spent because we spent over 100 million for two strikers the last two seasons.
The thing is, though, I actually think you get better money for them now than if we persevere and they don't get better. I mean, Zirkzee has just come in, and look, he did very well last year. Both of them did very well in Serie A. I think you could raise, you won't get all your money back, but you could raise between the two of them 60 to 70 million selling them back to Serie A because they did well out there.
For Zirkzee, 100%.
That's such
Because
nonsense.
was
Terry.
one
No
of the
one's gonna pay
Juventus-
60, 70 million for them.
Combined?
Yeah, I even think combined.
No, I disagree. I think with Hojlund, he scores enough goals. Look,
I like Hojlund.
let me explain
like
it in this
Hojlund.
way. Let me explain it in this way about Serie A.
No,
Okay.
you don't like Hojlund, Husam. That's not
Yes,
what
I do. I think he's a very good finisher. By the way, I've been telling this to me and Staffy. Have had this argument 100 times. I always tell him you're harsh on Hojlund because Hojlund is not being used to what he's actually good at. Hojlund is just a finisher, nothing more. He's not a fantastic footballer. He's not sexy. He's not amazing. We can all confess this. But when you create him chances in a dangerous position, he always finishes them. Go look at his finish.
You are right.
He's
And
got
that's-
two Premier League goals this year. You're telling me he's only had 2 chances in the Premier League this year.
Thank you, LB. Thank you. Because
How
here's the
many big
People-
chances has he had?
I'm asking you the question.
but
You're the
that's
one
an
that's
issue
coming out
on
here
him
with the
as well.
facts.
I think his maximum had what 5-6 big chances.
LB, 1 second. Let me respond to this. Watch games and watch Hojlund's movement. One of my biggest criticisms of him is that he doesn't know how to move on the pitch. That Spurs game, and I think
Explain
did I
the
do a
Europa
match
League
reaction
goal.
with you, Terry? Or I think I was on Friday on Straight Facts when I said, go and rewatch that game. There's a couple times where the ball gets played on the back post, and he makes a near post run instead. And you see his teammates telling him, like Bruno would tell him, like, I need you to be here when I cross that ball. Instead, you're right here. But that's been a common thing that he's
Can you
been doing
explain the
over a
Europa
year.
League goal then?
Sorry?
Well, I can
The
explain
Europa League goal.
I'll explain
How's
the
that
Europa
bad
League.
movement?
Hang on, but I'll explain the Europa League goals. European football has and always will be different to playing in the Premier League. There's always a difference in the speed and the way games are done, which is why you just said we couldn't get 30 million for him. I think we can because I don't think Hojlund's a player who's had an okay time, an average time, or a bad time at United, whatever phrase you want to use, whose career is finished. We have just seen McTominay that all of us on this panel would have ripped into last year. He is absolutely flying in Serie A. And this is what I'm saying. I know you as a fan, you won't get that much for him. I expect good technical and sporting directors to be able to take a player like Zirkzee, a player like Rasmus, and pick up 30 million quid for them at their age, with what they're earning from decent clubs in decent European sides. Because they could do a job in loads of leagues. But Zirkzee only cost us 30 odd million pounds. It cost that because of how well he did in Serie A. The idea
You want to sell
that
Zirkzee now, you get 10 million.
No,
Okay,
hold on. You're
that's
welcome. 1 second.
nonsense.
Let me answer this.
All right, so it's nonsense because it disagrees with your opinion.
No,
I
it's
agree with
nonsense to
half
say it's
the
10
part, but
million.
the other part.
No,
I
it's
like
not.
Hojlund.
Yeah, Habibi, did he lose a leg over the last 3 months to go from 40 million to 10 million? How do you go? You lost 75% of your evaluation over 3 months. That's insane. At
He
his
signed
age,
for Man United and he's not done well at
so
all.
you lost 75% of your value over 3 months.
But this
Okay,
is
Thiago Motta went to Juventus and he was begging for Zirkzee. Why? Because he had Zirkzee in Bologna and they were a very good team. For Bologna to finish in top 4, that was a huge success for them and to make the Champions League. He went there and he was like, you know what? Get me Zirkzee. There was rumors that they want to come in back in January, get Zirkzee from us, do a swap deal. So he's rated over there. He's actually still rated in Serie A because there's rumors coming today that Napoli also want him if we work a deal Osimhen. I would go to Juventus right now and be like, you want him. Your manager's pushing for the move because he knows him. So he personally wants him. There you go. Give us the 30 to 35 million back. Because I think there's a player in there. I just don't think he's on the right team. Like, I think Zirkzee is not a bad player. He's in the wrong league for me, and he's in the wrong system. So if you get a chance to move him somewhere where he is rated,
Zirkzee's not a bad player, but you say Hojlund is a bad player.
I don't want to get dragged into a debate.
Done nothing.
Boys, I don't want to get dragged into a debate.
Last season than Hojlund is done.
Guys, I don't want to get into a debate too much about fuck me about selling a player. I want us to talk about the link to Osimhen, please. Like, we're going to run out of time, right? Like, I get your point. Husam doesn't think we always get told we'll get no money for our players. that was because of who was selling them. Last summer, last point we'll make, it's the most we've ever raised in the summer through selling players, and we sold a lot of our
Yeah, but
crap.
don't change my words. I never said that. I
didn't
said you'd get money for Hojlund, not Zirkzee. Now,
Okay,
Osimhen. You want me to talk about Osimhen? Let me tell you about
Yes,
Osimhen.
please. Yes, the actual-
Osimhen should not move to Manchester United.
Why?
We have proof. We have proof of this. It's not about
Why?
agendas. It's not about narratives. Osimhen is a Champions League quality player. He's a Serie A winner. He has won Serie A top goal scorer before. He's one of the best strikers in the world. If Osimhen moves to Manchester United, he's one of the stupidest decision makers, because we have seen that place be the death of a lot of players' careers, be the death of a lot of promising stars' talents. And this is not an agenda. This is not a narrative of me making up shit. Man United are not Osimhen's level. Osimhen should move to a club like Liverpool, a club like Arsenal, a club like Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. I'm talking about the best of the best competing in the Champions League and the Premier League. That's my answer.
So your answer's that. So if Man United don't buy him, his option is to stay at Galatasaray.
No, because Arsenal should.
That's
go.
not true.
Arsenal should.
A lot
go
of
and
clubs
get
want him. Chelsea want him. Chelsea.
want him.
How many Osimhen Chelsea videos did you do yourself? Terry?
By the way,
And I
yeah,
did.
I don't know if he's in the
They
chat.
never
He
bid.
usually
They never
is,
bid. They never bid.
Bro, I just say this, yeah. Don's got to hold that, yeah, because I said all summer on this show, yeah, that he should have been Chelsea should have been signing Osimhen, yeah. It could have helped him. And now look, if they miss out on the league by a few points,
I understand your point, Husam, to a degree, but I don't think it's realistic. Because what Chelsea were getting attacked for is spending money on players that weren't of Champions League and title winning quality. They're not Chelsea level. Man United, of course, have got to aim for players like this. And the only way we're going to get better is by signing. You know, we spent the first part of the show saying the squad's crap, the squad's unreliable, the squad is trash. Well, the only players that are consistent are what you call Champions League level players. So Man United have got to go out there and buy these kind of players. And it's the only way we're going to get better. And I think this notion that no one will want to join Man United, it's been disproven. And I think that I get where you're coming from, but I feel
I'm talking more from Osimhen's perspective.
I understand that, but from Osimhen's perspective, if he would have played in our last couple of games in the league against Forest and against Brentford, where we Bournemouth, where we miss sitter after sitter after sitter, there's a chance we win those games, and everybody's looking at the start of Amorim's era very, very differently. Like if we had a back, would have made the mistakes at the back, no doubt. But what we're missing at the moment, and think back to Klopp's early time at Liverpool, you were leaking goals, but you had people up front that were scoring for you. I think at this moment in time, what we really need to, we need to improve the back line. We need to improve the midfield. But if we just could have someone in our front lines, if Rashford was scoring now, like he was 2 years ago, we'd be okay for a short period of time. We need some goals in this team to help us win some of these matches because we're out-creating our opponents. We're out-creating them. We're just not finishing our dinner, and then we're making a mistake at the back because of the unreliability you mentioned, and we're losing. So for me, I don't think it is beneath him, but I understand where you're coming from on that. Let's go to some of the super chats here. First one says, if I was a United fan, I'd be worried that their first option was a striker. When the first thing to fix in a broken team is always the midfield, since the defense and the attack starts there. What goals is a striker going to get without any? Well, this is the thing where you're wrong, my friend. If you look, it depends how you want to view service. If you look at the XG improvement in Man United under Amorim, it's massive. We're out creating our opponents almost week in, week out. We're not finishing our dinner. So that would suggest, no disrespect to your super chat, I appreciate it. But for me, that's what they're looking at. We're also looking at a midfielder this January as well. So Edison is someone we're looking at toe-to-toe with Man City.
Anyone who doesn't think United's attacking that department, the attacking department, for if you don't think is the worst thing in this team right now, you're either, no offense, you're either stupid or you just don't watch games. And I hope it's the second one. Because I wouldn't wish on anyone to watch United games and look at the team and like, you know what? The first thing they need to fix, fix that defense. The attack is fine. No chance.
This also says, if someone explained to me how in the current striker shortage, no big team went for Osimhen besides Galatasaray. Is he really good as fans think?
No, many teams have went in for Osimhen. It's not just Galatasaray, but the issue is Napoli and Lyon, those two clubs are infamously known for being the toughest negotiators in Europe, and they wanted a whole lot of money. And now that the money has been reduced by almost 40 million, I think you will find a lot of more clubs interested in
true.
Victor Osimhen.
Very true. Very, very true. 7-inch Destroyer says, will Colleen ever be back on the terrace? In fairness, I spoke to Colleen yesterday. She's still obviously traveling and doing her thing. I'm not going to reveal where she is because that's her private information, but she will be back on the terrace. Don't worry. Terry, does the length of Amorim's contract worry you? No, it doesn't. 2.5 years is fine. What it doesn't worry me at all because I believe what Man United are building is a club structure that will live beyond any head coach. So if you get 2 years in and he isn't the guy, it's very cheap and easy to get rid of him with 6 months remaining and then bring in somebody similar who is better at that job. I'd rather that than a 5-6 year deal. You get 2 years in and you've suddenly got £25 million to pay out. I'd rather do it that way and 18 months in go, wow, we're looking amazing. There's another 2 or 3 years. It's a much safer option and it's a better one financially. We have hemorrhaged almost £100 million in sacking managers. It's one of the reasons we're in financial trouble. It's the correct thing to do. And it's different to what we've done before. Therefore, I back it. Ronin here says, patience is apparently the enemy of standards. No, that's just people that are stupid. You can have high standards, but you got to have patience. It's as simple as that. LB can attest to it. LB started in the gym a little while back getting fit. Like he has standards of where he wants to get to, but he ain't stupid enough to think he can do press-ups and push-ups or sit-ups all week and then suddenly look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He understands it's going to take time, right?
I suppose so. Yeah, or you could hop on gear and then speed the process up if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could be a club that financially dopes and speeds the process up. Yeah,
you could just hop
You
on
could do
gear,
what
you know
Mudrik
what
does
I'm
and
saying?
just take an
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Terry?
There, LB.
If we do the Chelsea approach, I don't know if we're financially capable of doing that because I don't know what the rules were behind it for Chelsea to do that. But if we go in the 1st January and we spend all that money that Chelsea did, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, look at them! They're clueless. They're just signing. They're wasting money again."
You can't do it anyway. 2 reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if we can because
so they've changed all the rules so that you can't do those long contracts anymore, especially if you're in Europe, which we are. So we couldn't sign players on 8-year deals and spread the cost over 8 years. And secondly, Chelsea weren't in the financial difficulties at the beginning of that process that we're in now. So yeah, and even if we had someone worth 500,
Didn't they change the hotel rule as well? You can't sell hotels anymore, apparently.
We don't have any hotels to sell because unlike Roman Abramovich, the Glazers haven't been investing in the local infrastructure for the last 20 years, buying up land and properties. We have nothing to sell other than the stadium, and we ain't doing that. Where was this fury when the media was against everything the new Chelsea owners did? You're part of the media. We're not part of the media. The Football Terrace is not part of the mainstream media, my friend, in any way, shape, or form.
And also, Terry has actually been the fairest to Chelsea on this app.
I have. I just have.
Wrong person to call out. You should have called me out instead.
There we go. I'm definitely not part of the media as well, my friend, because I wouldn't be on here saying shit prick if I was part of the mainstream media. Thank you for muting that, KJ. Could be wrong, but did Salah and Mane come to Liverpool as world-class winning players?
No, we didn't sign any world-class player. The only world-class player we signed is Thiago Alcantara and Fernando Torres my whole life.
I think you signed top-class Champions League players in terms of their ability when you broke the world record on goalkeeper and centre-back. I think you can't say that you didn't do big there.
No, I'm saying, but he said world-class. World-class is like Thiago level when we signed them.
Alisson wasn't world-class?
No, Alisson was top-class, not world-class.
Are you saying Osimhen is world-class then?
Osimhen is definitely world class.
Okay,
Who the hell is the strikers in world football right now?
I'm just asking a question. Relax.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Terry. You need to understand the market dictates a lot of this as well. You know, who name your top 5 strikers in Europe right now. Who?
Yeah, he wouldn't be world class 15 years ago because the market was on madness.
Yeah, I agree with you. But look right now, Haaland, Kane, who else?
Yeah,
Lewandowski is still one of the best strikers in Europe, and the guy's like 37 years old, man.
I don't define someone as world class based on if they're one of the best in the world now. I base it on a long-standing. So I still compare them against world class strikers from 15, 20 years ago. So
there's not many world class players about them.
Yeah, theoretically, there could be 0 world class players. Theoretically, in my eyes.
Then using your logic, Terry, football is screwed because then we can barely name 10 world-class players in the whole world. Maybe.
This is true.
Hang on. Sorry. You don't need to have world-class players per se to enjoy football. Just because footballers aren't as good as, say, R9 doesn't mean that, football's finished. It's swings and roundabouts.
Okay, would you say Mo is world-class?
Mo Salah, yes.
KDB, Rodri, Haaland.
Okay. KDB was, I think his legs are gone now, but he was, yes.
Rodri, Haaland.
Haaland is, yes.
Okay, so where do you draw the line? Let's say so with Trent, would you consider him world-class?
A world-class right back, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I see your logic. So, but the thing is, for me, comparing it to players 15 years ago would be unfair to the players of this generation because they're just not as good.
No, I understand. I think they are and they're not. I think KDB could have held his own
There's a few. There's obviously a couple of exceptions, but there's just hardly any.
Yeah, but
There's
then
not a lot.
if I think about all the players I would call world class right now, just in the last few years in the Prem, I think Mo Salah, I think Trent, Trent might have played a different position 20 odd years ago. He probably would have played right midfield. I think Trent, Haaland would have been scoring goals in every era of football I've ever watched. So
Agreed.
I don't know. KDB would have held his own, like I've said. Mo Salah would have done. Van Dijk would have been a fantastic defender no matter what was going on. Who else am I thinking?
Alisson probably from the Prem.
Alisson, his shot stopping at the end of the day. In fact, imagine these sweeper keepers, like when Manuel Neuer first started doing it. Imagine what some of these guys could do back then. I mean, when who else is world class? Give me some names. I'm just trying to think who you guys think are world class as well. Like,
I think that's it. No one from Arsenal or your club or Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean,
that's probably it.
Maybe the only one from 5 years ago at Chelsea that comes to world class level is probably Kante.
Yeah,
Kante.
I'll give an example. But if I give an example, a young player at Chelsea, Caicedo, as a young player, would have been a good midfielder in any generation of the Prem. Quick, amazing on the ball, got strength. I don't think he would have been a trash player if he was younger.
Yeah, Caicedo has world class potential. He just not
I'm just looking at potential there, and I think.
But Husam, that proves the point though, because Caicedo is probably now one of the greatest DMs in world football.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit older than you guys. I remember having debates sitting down on Super Sundays with my mates at United, Liverpool. We'd sit there and we'd say, this was in the noughties, and we'd go, how many world-class players have both teams got? And when you sit in debate, most people would go 2 or 3 in each team. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily there's that less. You have to have a wider view.
But if you go back and take like the 4th and 5th player who you didn't quite put in the world-class category then and brought them now, they would now be world class and probably would, like the best example.
I get you.
If you took Edison Cavani back in the day, was a great striker, right? But he was never up there with like the best names of the best. If you put him in now, he'd arguably some people would have him as the best striker in world football.
Oh,
he'd be top 3 strikers quite easily by most people's standards. Top 5, 100%.
I think that's because though we go through these periods of what we want to train our players to do, and I think it's suddenly, for instance, how many defenders in academies right now are being trained to play against wingers that go on the outside and use their strong foot, like a right footer on the right hand side? Everything's you're going up against an inverted player, so we are going to have a generation of fullbacks that come through who are less competent defending on the outside as they are on the inside because it's what they're being asked to do. There was a time when number 10s were killing it in the Premier League because it was a kind of a new role, and then suddenly 10 started doing less and less well because the academy players and the younger players are being trained and adapted to how to mark and nullify one. So suddenly to the point where people playing in the number 10 roles weren't as effective. And I think there's an argument to say, are they just getting worse, or are number 10s on the role they play worked out and you kind of work out how to nullify them? Attacking fullbacks were all the rage 3 or 4 years ago. And then the world changed and suddenly you had 4 centre-backs playing at the back line and it changed again. And suddenly teams couldn't break City down because it was like, hang on a minute, how do we get past 4 defenders? And I do agree. I think there was a lot of talented players back then, but I think that's system based. I think football players have become more robotic in this era. Yeah. I really, which is why I think the sort of the 90s and the noughties was the greatest era of Premier League football. I think it was a harder era.
Well, I think coaching's become more important. I think coaching, not just at the top level, throughout the whole leagues. I mean, if you look at some of the old football clips, man, like teams facing like top tier, and they just go to like Old Trafford and Anfield, and they just. Honestly, it was crazy. And then these individual players had space and time and you could see their flair. Whereas now you can't see that, man, because, you know, these bottom of the table teams, they just come to your stadium and park the bus on the edge of the box and they're very good at it. Give them credit. They're very, very good at it, but it doesn't make for a very entertaining game.
No, I agree. I almost think there was an element, a sort of, how to say this? There was a bit more free will in the older ways of doing things. And the new methods come in. It's the same. Listen, I'm a big fan of the UFC and MMA. If you look at the MMA fighters now and they come through, some of the fledglings, some of the brand new rookie fighters have better overall skills than some of the veterans of 20 years ago. It's because as kids, they're being trained this stuff. And it's going through that period where they're far more competent. And it makes some of the fights are amazing, but it makes a lot of the fights a little bit more technical and boring as opposed to some of the slugfest that you used to see. And I think that's happened to football a little bit. It's become far more technical and tactical rather than go on, let's go out there and play our game. But look, viewers, give us your thoughts and feelings on that. We're going to come back to some of your super chats in a moment. Arsenal today, the fans are pushing for a Mohammed Kudus deal. We know that they've lost Bukayo Saka for at least 2 to 3 months until he is fully fit. The manager has said that they're not going to go into the market and they're going to look to work with what they've got. But I don't think anybody believes that. Is Mohammed Kudus the guy? Is that who they should throw all their money at? What we saying?
I think that's who they should go for, because that shows everyone that they're serious. Oh, our best player, arguably their best player, gets injured for 2 months, could derail their Premier League title challenge. Go and be serious. Go and show Liverpool. Go show Husam that this league ain't over. Because at the moment, these Liverpool fans, mate, it's Christmas, yeah, and these guys are laughing. The league's done, it's over. Yeah, but if they go out and sign a Kudus or something like that in the first week of January, second week of January, follow it up with maybe another player towards the end of top quality, all of a sudden people will be thinking, hang on a minute, maybe it's not over. But, you know, I think you've got to go off the history of Arsenal in these 2 last title races, and they've not done that. So I think he's probably telling the truth, to be honest. I don't think they are going to do anything serious. They might pick up a player, but I very much doubt it'll be a serious player. It'll be like I don't know, like another Sterling or something like that. And yeah, I mean, this is just the truth, man. It's a massive blow.
I think Arsenal not spending 80 million in January. Let's just be honest.
Why
have they ever done that?
Why not?
I get why not? Yeah, why? What breakdown?
Why?
Why?
Because I could look and track your recent movements and your recent actions. Be like, are you someone who tends to do that? No. When have Arsenal ever went out in January, especially, and spend 80 million?
No, I agree they're not going to do it, but why are they not going to do it? Why are they not going to do it, bro?
Because it's not in their nature to do it. When have they done it? That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's not in their nature to win trophies. At what point are people going to turn around to Arsenal and say,
so that's
what are you going to do, man? You're going to keep
You're
doing
saying
what
they
you keep
should.
doing.
What's it going to be? You're saying they should, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Everything you said is spot on. If they go and spend 80 million for Kudus and bring him from another team in London to make up for the loss of Saka, I'll be like, you know what? I'll hold my hands up. I'll be like, good job. You've acted like a big club. But I've never seen that from them. The one time they made a very big move like that was Declan Rice, and that wasn't it wasn't in January. It was the summer. And that's it. People were saying Aubameyang in the chat. Aubameyang wasn't 80 million. What are we even talking about right here?
Why do you guys never look at transfers from a player perspective? So put yourself in Kudus' shoes, okay? Kudus is going to be the starter for 3 months. So what happens when Saka's back?
He can play inside.
When Saka's back, what are you talking about?
He can play inside as well.
No, when Saka's back, where is Kudus going?
He can play inside. He can play down the middle.
Inside or on the left.
Okay, so then Martinelli and Trossard, one of them has to go.
Well, both of them are arguably lead anyway. They're not good enough anyway.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I agree they're trash. We all agree they're trash. Does Arteta agree that they're trash? Because you guys always leave this out of the equation. Look at it from the manager's perspective. If you tell me what is going to happen, Arsenal are not going to spend 80 million on Kudus in January. They're not. I agree with Staffy. Because not just about the nature, it's just also about the manager. Look at the patterns of Mikel Arteta. Look at the things that he's done. Look at what he said in his last press conference. I think he's going to go with Havertz, Martinelli, or Trossard on the right-hand side until Saka's back. He's not going to he's not going to sign a player that competes with Bukayo Saka or is near Bukayo Saka's level, because that brings him a problem and a headache in the future that he does not want to have, because he's not that type of manager.
So he's a weak
So that's
manager.
why I agree with Staffy's take. I think if Arsenal are to sign someone in January, then they're going to sign someone maybe who's a squad rotation option, someone who's a 30 million pound player. I don't know who. No name comes to mind, so don't ask me who. But I'm saying someone of that level who comes in, or you're going to replace Saka for 2-3
Sterling
months.
being there, Husam, then? Why is he there?
I mean, Sterling was supposed to be that guy, and maybe he does play. Maybe he does play on the right-hand side. I don't know.
Sam Sterling is the proof that they don't even make these moves, because when they needed this move.
Yeah, that's why we agree. I don't think they will do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reassuring it. In the summer, when they needed a big move, and you had 3 months to go and get a player, they waited until deadline day, and they got a reject from Chelsea who got his numbers stripped away from him, and he had no place in that team, and they got him on loan. That's the type of business they did in the summer, when they had all the time in the world to assess all the options. All summer they talked about, what was his name? Nico Williams, Eze, I saw Sani Links, I saw everyone, and then they went for the worst option possible. None of us would take.
They didn't want him, really, did they? Though they didn't want him, really.
But what confidence should I have now, LB? By the way, I said I agreed with you that would be the right move. But what confidence should I have in
No.
Arsenal with the
No,
way
I
they've
agree.
been operating over the last 2
No.
years that they will make a move like that.
No, they're not going to make a move. I agree with you. We're not arguing. But the reason why I get annoyed about this situation is like, at what point are Arsenal? So what? The Saka's now injured. Yeah, they're not out the race. I don't think they're going to win it. I think Liverpool have pretty much won it unless Salah gets a mad injury, right? But listen, they could win it. So are they just not going to make a move now? Is their season done and dusted because they're not going to make a move? You can't buy another squad rotational player. So look at the goals Saka's getting. Look at the amount of assists Saka's getting this year. A squad rotational player is not going to do that. They need to get a quality player. And then people keep on saying, well, what are you going to do when Saka's back? It's up to the manager to find out. I'm not being funny. Marino's not exactly tearing up trees.
Yeah.
Odegaard's got 20 assists in 5 years, which is wild. People go on like Odegaard's this amazing creative player. Kevin De Bruyne got 22 Premier League assists in 1 season. Odegaard's got like 25 in 5 years, mate. So let's chill on that one. Yeah, so what's that? We're just saying the Arsenal season's over now. Is that what we're saying?
Rashford.
Do you know what?
We're laughing about it.
It might be. It could be Rashford. Do you know what's interesting, right? The one. Listen, there's loads of excuses that could make sense, but the whole "what about when Saka comes back?" That for me is if I was an Arsenal fan, that would frustrate the living daylights out of me as a comment, because, well, when Rashford comes back, you see how the land lies. You see how well Kudus is doing. Maybe he plays. I know everyone says he's not a left-sided attacker, but he can play there. It gives you options and it gives you real, genuine, bona fideable depth. And sometimes players do play out of position. And I'll give people an example. Wayne Rooney could play on the wings. Wayne Rooney could play as a 10. Wayne Rooney could play as a 9. And the amount of times that helps Man United in a very successful period for us, because you'd say, right, do you know what? We need a bit more creativity from the sort of a 10 role as it was, but we need extra goals as well. So we can go and get Van Persie because Rooney can drop that little bit deeper. If Rooney was a one-dimensional player, it would have been, we need more goals and more creativity. Oh, we've actually got to go and buy a 10 and a striker. We didn't need to do that at that particular time. And I think that's what Arsenal fans have got to look at this as. Well, there's real competition for Saka. So if Saka isn't playing well, somebody else comes in. There's competition for Odegaard. They were missing. When Odegaard went out injured, they didn't have anyone with that level of creativity. You've now got that in Kudus. And listen, he's not predominantly a left-sided attacker, but he's better at it than Martinelli is. So you've suddenly got a better left-sided attacker, someone that can then challenge Odegaard and Saka for their positions, which is only, in any team that wants to be successful, is only going to make you sharper, stronger, more up for it. You need that quality. And for me, I've got a gut feeling they won't do this. I saw a lot of Arsenal fans talking about it. There's a few links in the media because he's a player they've liked before. I disagree with Lawless when Lawless says can't happen, won't happen. The only way this doesn't happen is if Arsenal don't make it. I mean this, no disrespect to West Ham fans. Sorry, Lawless, I know you're watching. Merry Christmas. But if Arsenal
apologize to that bald fraud, hold that, Lawless.
I will. But if Arsenal make the bid, Kudus is saying goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen, bonsoir, see you in a bit, I'm off to North London. I don't mean it rudely. He is too good for West Ham. And I don't mean it horrible, but he's going. This is on Arsenal. If they want the player, go and get him. Anyone saying, though, what about Saka? What about the gateways? Listen, don't worry about Waneri. Don't worry about Martinelli. Don't worry about Saka. That's for them to work out. If Waneri's good enough, he'll make it into your team. And this is, I've said it before. Someone says, oh, Terry, but you want your young players to do well. I do. I really do. But if we can, I don't want to not sign Kvaratskhelia because Garnacho might turn into a good player. Please don't have a fit, Staffy. Like, I don't care. Equally, if we had a chance now to sign a world-class right attacker, I wouldn't be worried about Ahmad. Ahmad's great, but if he's going to be the level that we need, he can handle the competition.
This is the first time we've all agreed. We've literally all agreed. We're all saying it should happen and it would make them better, but they are just not going to do it. That's just the problem.
Well, why are there so many Arsenal fans against this? So I've seen so many Arsenal fans in the comments saying, no, we can't do this. We can't. Like, why not? Why are you against it?
There.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, not only, by the way, this injury, you could partly put this down to Arsenal themselves, right? Because we've said this for so long, that they've needed a backup right winger. Right, I'm just going to look at his stats here. 2021-22. 2020-21, he played 32 Prem games. The next year, 38 Prem games. 38 Prem games the season after. 35 Prem games last year, and he's played 16 so far this season. They play Saka pretty much every single game they get the opportunity. They don't rotate him properly. And by the way, yeah, if they do get someone like a Kudus, who knows? It could push Saka on to higher levels because then he's got proper competition. It could.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Let me give my club as an example because people in the chat love crying. I've got the best player in the world playing right wing. I am not saying no to signing Lamine Yamal. There's an example I always give. There was an NBA draft that changed the history of the National Basketball Association about 40, 50 years ago. There was a guy that was advising the Portland Trail Blazers. They said we needed the center. He told them, draft Michael Jordan and play him at center. And they didn't listen to him. And then they let MJ go to the Bulls and the rest is history. When you have the ability to sign one of the best players in the world, you sign him. No one cares about the other guy. If I sign Lamine Yamal, Adi will find a way. We'll play Yamal on the 10, Salah on the right. We play Salah up top, Yamal on the right. No one cares. We'll just switch it up in a way where I can get the best out of both. And that's the thing that Arsenal fans should say. However, they don't think that way. And I'll tell you where that comes from. Sorry, Arsenal fans. You know I defend Saka. You know I think Saka's better than Palmer and Foden. But let me just say this. This comes from a bit of insecurity. Because Arsenal fans might be worried that Kudus might turn up to be a lot better than Bukayo Saka. And then Bukayo Saka might have to be dropped from the team.
Yeah, but that's fucking weird.
That's honestly what I think, if you want my honest opinion.
Well, that's just so strange if you think like that as a fan. That's so weird.
Would you put it past these Arsenal fans, LB?
You're talking about the same fan base.
I'm just trying to think like them. That's what I'm trying to think
that's the same fan base that they said. Remember that video that went viral a year or two ago? And they're like, would you sell Saka to win the Premier League or something like that, or the Champions League?
Champions, even worse.
They forgot that the purpose of these players being there is for them to win trophies anyways. So I would have put it past them. But I actually have another narrative that I want to bring in here. And I really am not saying this out of spite or to celebrate injuries or anything. I don't think Saka, with this first hamstring injury that he got with the amount of football that he played, is he ever going to be the same again? Now, I'm not saying, and I'm not hoping that he becomes Reece James levels, because look at Reece James. He plays every 2-3 games, and his hamstring is done again. But it is factual, and Terry will tell you, or anyone who played sports will tell you, once you get that first major hamstring issue, especially in a sport like football, where you run, I don't think anyone runs more in a team sport than footballers do. Once that hamstring is gone, you do tend to pick up that 1, 2, 3 hamstring injuries a season. You'll randomly see him out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It happens all the time. I'm someone who watches the NBA a lot, and NBA is known for hamstring issues all the time. And once a player gets that first big hamstring issue, it stays with them their whole career. Like, you never become the same again. So I'm not saying he's going to become a Reece James, but you will find yourself now in a lot of situations when he's back, and I hope that he stays healthy when he's back, because I don't want to see a good player injured. He will get that injury, and then you'll see every here and there, he can no longer play that 3 games a week like he used to. Like, the way Arteta used him, and he honestly, the way he overused him over the last 3-4 years, you won't be able to see that again. The guy, the amount of minutes he got in his legs, and he's 23, this guy has the same amount of minutes and games played as players that are about to touch 30. That is crazy to see. So you will need that quality now. You can no longer get away with not having a backup.
I just look at it. I get where you're coming from, and I just think, listen, there are some Arsenal fans who have that, like, I need Saka to be the guy because I've always backed him. It's the same as there are Arsenal fans that I think want Arsenal to win some trophies, not for Arsenal Football Club to say I was right about Arteta. I think there are some Arsenal fans that want Arsenal to lose so they can say they were right about Arteta. And I don't think it's specific to Arsenal fans. I think all clubs that have gone through negativity. Look at City in the last few weeks, LB. I have never seen so many City fans say nasty things about your players and manager. And I'm not saying that, not criticism. Criticism is fair. Like, you must have seen some of the weird, abusive things that people have written. Imagine 20 years of the fans feeling like that on social media. Some of the agendas would run so deep, and it almost becomes, for some people, when you're not challenging for titles regularly, it becomes sort of it kind of becomes ingrained within the fan base to focus more on personal agendas, wishes and wants, and player FCs. And I think that when your team starts to get better, I think it takes a long time. I think it takes winning the trophies to almost flush that out of you a little bit. And we've seen it in the social media era with both your clubs, Liverpool and City, where when you're at your pomp, and Liverpool's was always the funniest because I remember they all used to say, when we start going through bad times, you won't see our fans screaming into cameras, tweeting horrible things online, behaving like Arsenal fans or Chelsea or United. And as soon as Liverpool hit a bad period, it started. City, you've literally been awful 12 games, one of the the worst run of a defending champion ever. But some of the and I'm not talking about you, some of the stuff people have said is crazy. Can you imagine magnifying that for 20 years? There'd be some right weirdos left. Do you know? And I'm not because they're City fans, but just because they're human beings. And I think there's like a 20% part of the population that are just proper weird, like genuinely weird. But yeah, look, they've got to buy someone. I think we all agree on that. There's some super chats here I want to jump into. First one says, here for the membership, big up yourself. Where we hit 16. We hit 16, right? I'm going to start a new goal and extend it for you. Well, we'll get that done. Every United fan should be screaming for our club to sign. Sorry, Arsenal. Sorry, to sign Kudus or similar level players. Arteta is warning the board in his presser. Merry Christmas. I hope he did warn the board.
I don't think Arteta's warning the board.
I haven't listened to the press conference. I don't know. I don't listen to the press conference. I wouldn't know.
He said they have 4 options there.
Oh, okay. As an Arsenal fan, Kudus is only signing. That makes sense. Semenyo is a close second. In terms of centre forwards, Arsenal fans need to accept they are getting Šeško since the coaching staff is obsessed with this dude. Nate here says every Arsenal fan should be screaming at. Sorry, I already done that one. Oh, my apologies. Sorry. This here says Staffy, we put 80 million down for Caicedo last January or January before last. So what shows we won't try that again this season? Kudus can play as a centre forward. Plus, we are looking at Almo.
Did they put 80 million for Caicedo in January?
Yeah, 2 Januaries ago they did. Yeah, and they didn't get
2 January ago. Yeah, but that was different. Arsenal. They're trying to build to something. Now they are at that something.
Come on, man.
Also, I saw we need to end this Olmo talk because I saw LB the fraud as well yesterday on a stream. Oh, we should sign Olmo. Olmo just signed for Barca. He ain't gonna live 6 months later to sign for a club. So allow it.
Well, that's what they're saying. That people are saying that apparently they might have to sell him or something.
Nah, they don't have to sell
him
him
or something.
Nah, they don't have to sell him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know this. You've spoken to the Barcelona.
No, but they pull a lever, and I read on that league, and I watch La Liga when I can because it's on beIN Sport.
Money talks, man. You guys are doing the very calculated thing of saying Arteta won't sign anybody. It absolves KSE of responsibility. The manager wanted Neto. I mean, a lot of Gooners will say this as well, to be fair, that the manager wanted, as he says, Šeško, Nico Williams, Neto, Caicedo, and others, and the board hasn't delivered. Is this all on Arteta, or do you think this is about Arsenal owners?
No, because this isn't fair, right? Because what this guy's saying is it's like, oh, well, you know, the manager wanted Neto, Nico, and Šeško. Well, the manager also wanted Fabio Vieira. The manager also wanted Marino, who doesn't look good enough. Yeah, the manager also wanted that left back, centre back guy that they signed from Italy or whatever, who's not good enough. Yeah, no, there's argument for him now as well. But who's the other guy they signed? What's he called, man? They signed him to last January, the season before that. He's like a left back sort of centre back guy. Kivior. The guy also wanted him, yeah? So, like, bro, you cannot just say, oh, well, it's all the owner's fault because the managers also bought these bozos, man.
Arsenal to go for a loan with an obligation to buy Zirkzee. They did want Zirkzee. Zirkzee was high up on Arteta.
Yeah, Zirkzee, Rashford, let's go. I'm all for it. It makes my life...
£100 million, they're yours, bro.
Yeah, makes my life easier. Please do sign them.
World class is subjective. Go by best active player is the world instead of terms that apply to a mixture of stats and folklore. Palmer is one of the best. Yeah, I mean, Palmer is one of the best attacking midfielders in the world right
Palmer's
now.
not world class, though.
Why is he not?
But how many?
No, the reason why he's not world class is world class comes over a period of consistency. Because to be world class, you need to be Mo, you need to be KDB, you need to be Rodri, you need to be Haaland. So world class to do it consistently over a long period of time.
What about Yamal?
Foden, then.
Okay, what about Yamal? Yamal, is he world class?
No, not yet. Not yet. It's too early. You have to give these guys time.
No, I disagree with you.
Okay, here's the thing, LB. If we're talking about best players in the world in their position, I understand that. But I'm saying in order to be world class, consistency over a good period of time, at
He's
least
done it
3
for
or 4
18
years.
months now. So how long does he need to do
Yeah, but
it?
that's what I'm saying. At least 3 or 4 years. I gave you the answer. Because
He needed 4 years.
No.
Yeah, of course. To be world class.
No.
World class meaning you start for every team in world football, or you're the best in the position, or you're some of the
No,
top
that's
3
not
or
what it
whatever.
means. Hold on.
No. Come on, bro. What we're doing here?
Palmer
What we
plays
doing
with
here?
the level that he's in right now for an additional year. So let's say a year from now, that's going to be 2.5 years he's at Chelsea, and he's keeping up these numbers.
No.
So you're telling me a year from now, I'll sit there and be like, you know what? I cannot call him world class because according to Husam's standards, I have to wait another 6 months so we can hit that 3-year threshold.
First of all, who said you must apply Husam's? First of all, let's establish something. The word class is a word that the whole football community disagrees on and gives different definitions to.
It's
not a
subjective,
single person. There is no Oxford dictionary meaning for world class. We can all disagree. That's fine. You can go by your own standards. I can go by my own. What separates world class players for me is the ability to do it over a consistent period of time. Now, when it comes to Cole Palmer, he did it last season and he's doing it this year. If he continues to do it next season, then he becomes in the world class category.
That's not right. Bro.
Let me just say one thing. It also needs to lead to some form of success at the end of it, and clutch moments as well. Those are the things.
So can I tell you why you're wrong?
Tell me.
Because I think actually what you're describing when you're doing it consistently for a number of years, that actually then puts you into a different category, right? So I look at someone like Mohammed Salah, yeah? This guy was world class in his first couple of years at Liverpool, yeah? And in fact, if you look when he was in Italy, he had some good numbers there, right? He was world class. When you start doing it for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and 8 years, actually what that does is that puts you into GOAT conversation.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Palmer right now is world class because what he's doing on a weekly basis, maybe not every single game, right? Players can have a off game, right? But usually he's turning up week in, week out, putting in decent performances, really good performances. For me, that makes him world class. If he keeps doing this for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, then we're talking about a player that might be coming like this guy's going into the elite level category when you're talking about some of the best players ever. So for me, I disagree with the way that you define world class. Yamal is a world class player. Do we compare Yamal to an Ian Robben? Obviously not, because Ian Robben done it for multiple.
You're changing my words. And I never said 4, 5, 6 years.
I
completely agree with you.
He's not changing.
If I said do it for 4, 5, 6 years, I agree with you. He goes into the elite category. You're 100% correct.
Listen, can I tell you why you're wrong?
I'm talking about give me a period of the reason why we need a period of consistency to call a player world class is we have seen players have 1 year offs or 2 year offs and then drop off. We have seen players like a Dele Alli. Dele Alli was fantastic for 2 to 3 years and then fell off the cliff.
And he was world class in that period.
Yes, okay. So you're talking about world class form, but do I call Dele Alli world class? No, that's my point.
You wouldn't
give him some time at least.
In 2006, hold on. In 2006, when Van Nistelrooy first left United, Ronaldo before that was not world class. As soon as he left, and Ronaldo took on a bigger role in that team, from 2006 to 2008, he was world class. He won a Ballon d'Or by being world class in just 2 seasons. Ronaldo was not world class before that. He was a world class talent. People can maybe potentially say, oh, yeah, he has the talent to become that. But he performed at a world class level only 2 seasons at that time and then won a Ballon d'Or. And obviously he continued it after. But it took him only 2 years to be that. No one at that time said, you know what, it's only been 2 years, so he's not world class. That's why we're not going to give him Ballon d'Or. It doesn't have to be. I get what you're trying to say. You want to see on a more consistent period, but 4 to 5 years, that is way too much.
I agree.
I don't need
so
to
what
wait
if we start next
4 to
season?
5 years to say that.
Okay, let me ask you
2 to
both
3
a
years
question
is
in
enough.
reverse. We start next season. Palmer goes the first 6 months. He goes missing in all the big games. He has 3 goals and 2 assists. Then what?
Then you say
because world class is not a tag you can just take away and give to someone.
So what's easier, Husam? If that happens, what's easier to say? Oh, he's in bad form, or to say, see, I told you over the last 2 years he was never world class.
No, but that's not
People
what I'm
won't
saying.
agree
I
with
just
you,
said
yeah, no,
Caicedo
he's
has
actually
world-class
world-class.
potential. But in order for me to call Caicedo world-class, he need to do it. I'm not calling Gravenberch world-class. I'm not calling McAllister world-class, even though they have done good over a period of time. But you have to do it. For me, it's about consistency and a time period, because players fall off, because players have really good form for 2-3 years and then they go to the shits. That's why we have to wait. And then when they deliver at a consistent level for 2 to 3 years, I can tell you, okay, he's world class. That's my only point.
Viewers, give us your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on that in the comment section below, please. This says, so I'm so stupid. I can't read sometimes. So people who called Arsenal fans delusional for saying Saka is world class, he hasn't won anything, is now trying to say Palmer is world class.
Yeah, but I think Saka probably is world class in this current era.
I'll see. There you go then.
There we go.
Well, you don't think Saka is world class in this current era?
No, I don't think Saka's world class.
Well, there's not many. There's not
You
many
guys are
right
just
wingers
snapping
better
this
than him, bro.
world class tag to everyone.
But bro, the football's fallen off, man. We've got no players, man. All the players are dead, bro.
See,
But
that's
it's the
why.
truth, man.
But that's why I love this conversation, because for me, if it's dead, then I just wouldn't call any of the fuckers world class. I just say they're good, because
Yeah, then
Well,
it's just
yeah,
like
you can
Mo
do
and
that.
Rodri are world class, and that's it.
I suppose it's like this, really. Like every year, an actor is going to win an Oscar. Every single year, they're going to do it. But it doesn't mean the person who's won an Oscar this year is as good as actor as Denzel Washington or Sidney whatever his name is. And he says Sidney Potter, which is what they call him in Only Fools and Horses. Tom Hanks or whoever else it may be. They're the best that year. But I still think there's a hierarchy to it. But listen, it's a great debate. I love listening to it.
The thing is, yeah, I'm living in 2024. Yeah, I could be
yeah.
fluid with this shit. Yeah, like for me, I can say Saka is world class right now. Yeah, but I can also say he gets nowhere near the likes of Ian Robin back in the day. So I can, I that's what I do. Yeah, I can't just sit here and be like, yo, we've got no world-class players in football. I can say we've got world-class players in football. They're just nowhere near as good as what they used to be back in the day.
Gav here says, world-class is difficult to judge when you can remember Hullet, Baggio, Van Basten, Gaza, Hoddle, Zidane, R9, Bergkamp, etc. I agree, but do you know what I would say, though? Is that my dad's list of players doesn't include most of them. My dad's list of players has the likes of Jimmy Greaves in it. Just as an example, like my dad's era put Pele a lot higher than this current era do. And listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, because it is subjective, but I'm going to be intrigued to see this debate in 20 years' time, because what you'll start seeing on these shows is these players not being mentioned. You'll get this, maybe it'll be the crop that came just after these lots. So it'll be more the Rooneys and the Ronaldos and the Messis that will get mentioned, because none of us sit here and mention Platini and how good he was as an example, because it's an era thing and an age thing and who you remember watching as an example. Like a lot of us will say Bergkamp, we remember Bergkamp, but people don't remember Glenn Hoddle. People don't talk about how good a player Glenn Hoddle was. Man United fans, a certain generation, when it comes to the midfield conversation, Scholes comes up. Of course he does. Brian Robson barely gets mentioned by a certain age group because they don't remember him. You speak to Man United fans who are 50, 60, it's a different conversation, but it's a great debate, gents. Really was. Okay, Husam, with that logic, explain Osimhen being world class.
Osimhen's done it consistently over a 3-4 year period and was part of the team that allowed Napoli to win the league for the first time in 50 years.
Yeah.
So he has a major accomplishment on his side as well.
You would say Foden's world class, because the other day you were slagging Foden off. Foden is consistent.
No, but I don't think Foden's has world class ability, or like
Wow.
I don't.
World-class ability.
Oh my god! Foden has been
Guys, you
consistent
can cry.
up until this season. Foden has been consistent in one of the hardest leagues in the world for 5 years.
I think Foden is one of the most overrated players.
Oh, that's because you're stupid.
By the way,
sometimes.
Osimhen,
Listen, I'm not stupid because I have a football team that disagrees with you. You think Scholes is the best Premier League midfielder? That's stupidity.
Sometimes you are stupid, Husam. Sometimes you are.
No,
stupid.
I am not stupid at all. I have an opinion and I have the right to opinion. I think
He's
Foden's
not
overrated.
stupid, bro. He's not. He's got a chemical degree.
Yeah, I'm
man.
not
Come on,
stupid.
man.
I don't rate Foden highly. That's my
No,
decision.
listen, I'll say it again,
my
though.
opinion.
I'll say it again. I didn't say always. I said you are sometimes stupid, and even smart people can be stupid at times. And honestly, like to say that everything you just said about world-class players literally applies to Phil Foden. And then you're like, no, but not
No,
him.
but I don't rate Foden as highly because I don't think he was one of the main guys ever. He's just one of the guys at Manchester City.
Yeah, he never.
That's
helped
why
me, Obi. He
when
never helped
Rodri won the Ballon
Cameos
d'Or,
last year, no?
if it's just a City agenda, when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, I did a video saying Rodri deserved to win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I've been doing
didn't say-
Haaland props since he walked into Manchester City.
I don't
I've been
think
doing Kevin De Bruyne props since he walked
Sam,
into Manchester
no one has said it's a City agenda. It's a Foden agenda. The idea.
Why would
that
I have a Foden agenda?
The idea that you say he's never been an integral part of City's teams isn't right.
Why would I have a Foden agenda
You
when
have a Foden agenda, bro.
I
You do.
literally don't even have a
You do.
player comparable to him? Foden is compared to Palmer and Saka. I don't have any dog in that fight.
irrelevant. You
You
don't need a
definitely
player
do have
like
an
him.
agenda against him.
You do.
No,
It's
I
okay.
don't have. Why would I have an agenda against Foden? That's so random.
Well, that's the thing is we'll never know. And that's what makes this whole
Yeah.
conversation very intriguing.
Agenda. It's
One
football.
day, you'll let it slip, bro, and we'll find out, innit? But
No,
until that
no,
day,
I don't think
keep
Foden-
Until we find out what it is, Sam, I'm just going to say sometimes you're stupid. Is this what
No, I'm not. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Stupidity is
you're
thinking Scholes is the best Premier League midfielder. That's real stupidity.
Listen, if
That's
that's stupidity,
When Lampard existed, when Gerrard existed,
if-
when Patrick Vieira existed,
if
Fabregas.
if that's stupid, slap my ass and call me silly, baby, because Scholes is amazing. So yeah, I can take that tag.
Sorry, not my time.
Pause. Yeah, pause. I could be wrong, but did Salah? I'm sorry, I already done that super chat. So United get players on the brink of world class, like Gems, for instance. So should
It's
United
not
get
about-
players
real
on the
quick,
brink-
in 10 seconds there. يا أخي, let me respond on my team.
Go ahead. خلاص أنا سمعتكيش تفضل.
To answer the super chat,
I agree.
United are in a situation right now where you go and get good opportunities. By that I mean Wolves get relegated, you're on top of Cunha and Aitnouri right away. You go and get that settled. Southampton get eliminated, go get what's his name, Tyler Dibbling. These are all opportunistic players that once they're made available because of a situation and they're very good, you add them. Eventually, you'll get your Salahs, your Manes, the players that end up being world class. But for now, you just got to go for all these good players if they make sense.
This here, you can answer this one too. It says, do you think Amorim should only adapt to the players short term just to finish in the top half like Arteta did? Ten Hag, biggest downfall was abandoning his tactics at Ajax, essentially. So do you think that Amorim is right to stick by his system, Staffy?
100%, because the longer you stick with your system, the more the players that can play that system will stick out, and the players that really can't, even they might be good players in a different system, they'll stand out as well. So you stick by your principles.
Yeah.
I'll say this again and I'll repeat again. So I hope I don't get asked this. I do not care as long as United don't get relegated, obviously. I do not care where United finish in the league this season. I do not care how many trophies we win or don't win this season. As long as we're progressing on the pitch, because it is a bigger picture for me. The bigger picture is to get back to contending. An FA Cup, we'll mask over it again. A League Cup, we'll mask over it again. If we win the Europa League, I'll be happy. If we don't, I don't give a fuck that we're not in the Champions League. I don't care. That sense of entitlement, go to other United fans for it. I don't have that sense of entitlement this season.
I hear you. Moving on from the Super Chats in United, we know that your Premier League season is finished, LB, and we get that, right? We've had a lot of conversations about it. But you have a bit of a bee in your bonnet towards Liverpool at the moment, don't you? Liverpool fans and their title charge.
Complete opposite. I've congratulated them.
I'm
on their
going
second Premier League. You know.
I'm going by what you said in the group chat about having no chest and not being in a title race.
Oh no, that's just against Husam.
Oh, is that against Sam only? Against Sam only.
Weird. No, not Liverpool fans. It's just Husam,
Sorry, my
innit?
apologies. I
No,
misunderstood.
I've already his old chat. He's getting bullied off his own chat all the time, man. I see this chat.
No. My community supports me.
No, man. Your chat, they know what's going on, yeah. And for some reason, Husam refuses to get his chest out, and I just have to call him out on it every time, man, because I don't get it. Innit?
It's flat chested.
I don't get what was going on, man. I know Husam hits the gym. You know what I mean? He's a strong guy, but for some reason, he don't want to get the chest out. And listen, I say this on a real one, yeah. I think Liverpool have smashed it. I still think that doesn't make me wrong, by the way, in the summer when I said it was a disgrace that they didn't spend any money, because that was a disgrace. Yeah, and if they somehow balls this up and don't win the league, then that proves the point even more. And then even if they do win the league, if they get to the final, the Champions League or the semi-final, unless they win every trophy, I'm right either way. So I can't lose this situation. But Slot's done fantastically well. Mohammed Salah's going to win the Ballon d'Or. 6-1. Get on it. Easy money. Yeah. And for me, yeah, they just need to keep doing it. The only way they don't win the league this year is if Van Dijk or Salah get a mad injury. And Salah's injury record's phenomenal. Yeah. And Van Dijk's, we'll see what happens in it. But now they've won the league, man. They won the league. They're too consistent. They're the most balanced team in the league. Their midfield is outperforming everyone's expectations. And yeah, man. GG's. Congrats, Husam, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think
this is the most pathetic way. Like, you know what they call this? Like bad attempt at rage bait. Like it's just you're trying to rage bait.
How is it rage bait? How is it rage
No
bait?
one.
99% of the chat agree that Liverpool are winning the league.
Yeah,
Staffy, who's winning the league?
He knows who he is. He just doesn't want to say it.
Terry, who's winning the league?
Anyway, point is,
Liverpool.
listen, this rage won't work on me.
This is rage bait, yeah?
If you like,
we all agree.
but
Everyone in the chat also agrees. Pretty much 99%.
You are the best informed team in Europe, not England. In Europe. Now, this is why I hate this so much, and I keep blaming you for what's happening on YouTube because you pretend that you don't have influence on Liverpool fans, yet you do. When they sit here and bro, I go live on my channel and randomly get people saying Leopard Nation rise. What does that even mean? Bro, fuck Leopard Nation. You're supposed to be winning the Premier League nation right now.
Don't insult Leopard Nation.
Fuck that nation. You are by far the best team in Europe this season. You are the favorites for the Champions League and your favorite for the league. If you don't win it, that's a different discussion. You are scared from the banter that you want to put your chest away and you don't want to say it for what it is. For what it is, you have some of the best players and you have the best performing manager in Europe right now. You should be speaking about on it as it goes. If you end up not winning the league, it's not your fault for speaking the truth at the time and saying, yes, we're on top of the league and we're ranked first in the Champions League. Therefore, at that time when I said we are the best, we were the best, you're not wrong for saying that. Right. But you're scared that later on it's going to come back and bite you in the ass and you're like, oh, see, I probably should have never said anything. It is not irrational to say that Liverpool are the favorites for the league right now. And Das, who goes on your channel, said it perfectly. Shout out Mike Das. He said yesterday, Liverpool, they're the only predator right now. There's no other predators. You are the only predator. You can no longer call yourself a leopard. You know why? Leopard in the tree, and I'm gonna correct you right now because I hate this whole leopard in the tree thing. Leopards go in trees not to hunt Premier Leagues. They go to trees when they hide from another predator. So if there's a lion, aka Man City, then you're the leopard. But there's no lion right now. The lion is sleeping because the lion is injured right now. So right now, Man City is no longer there. How could you be the only predator and call yourself a leopard? When you're the main predator and the most dominant predator, you become a lion because no one else can mess with a lion. Right?
Exposed, Husam. You've been exposed.
That's the cringiest video I've ever played.
It scared me. I was like, wait, what?
That was so cringy. Anyway, let me respond.
What the fuck is that?
First of all, I see the Leopard Nation rising in the chat. Rise again, just to rattle these three frauds. Number two, let me give
beta, mate. Such a beta.
Let me give Staffy.
You're such a pretend alpha. You're such a beta.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm a pretend alpha.
You are. You are.
Okay, no problem. Let me respond now. Anyway, first of all, you guys don't even know Animal Kingdom like I do. I watch animal documentaries all the time. You guys think leopard
you say you don't think I watch Attenborough?
Let me speak. Let me speak. I didn't interrupt any of you. Number one, a leopard is the most efficient hunter in the jungle, you frauds. Number three, Staffy said something that's factually incorrect. When a leopard hunts, he takes his prey to the tree to eat it. That's something factually incorrect that you have said because the other animals can't climb.
I've got to stop you.
Wait,
hang on. You've done yourself. Because if you're in the tree because you've hunted and got your prey, that means you've won the fucking league, you idiot.
Let me speak. The reason why I'm saying this is I've already explained this before. Look, when the season first started, I said we're going to challenge for the league. I don't know who else said it, but I've had to listen to Igal and Don and plenty of examples of other fans to say that third place was up for grabs, that Liverpool are finished after Klopp, that we're done because we didn't sign anyone. And literally 3 games into the season, I had people tell me, Liverpool, you must. And that's when Leopard Nation started, because what you're not going to do is come tell me you must after you told me I'm finished 3 games before. Expectations change as the season progresses, but my expectations hasn't changed because I said we're going to challenge for the league anyway. I said from the start we're going to challenge for the league. So like this is not something new that I made up. I've already said we're going to challenge for the league. But when it comes to winning the league title, if you think I'm afraid of being bantered, When I first made my debut on the Football Terrace, I said we're going to win the Premier League, the Champions League,
You
and
wasn't
the
a big
Carabao
name
Cup
back then.
in the quadruple
Sam,
charge season.
I'm
You know,
sorry, bro.
so
I know you're
No
in a
one knew
speech.
you back
You're
then.
in a speech, but I know you watch Natural Geographic. But I've just gone and looked at the stats here for hunted success in the jungle. So leopards come in, okay, at a very, very respectable 14 to 38% success rate of killing the prey they go for. However, okay, that's I want to give you an example here. So hyenas have a 75% success rate as an example. These are wild animals.
hyenas aren't hunters. Hyenas are scavengers.
Well, it says hunting success rate.
So is that Chelsea?
Yeah, but that's not them hunting.
This is on the National Geographic, a hunting
But
success
that's
rate.
not them hunting, Terry.
So you're arguing with David Attenborough?
Yes, because that's not them hunting. Hyenas steal kills from other animals.
They do both, Husam. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, they steal kills.
be
So
fair,
if a
though,
leopard kills something and it doesn't take
tigers,
victory, the hyena steals it.
the tigers hunt. Then we'll go to tigers.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about tigers.
50%. Cheetahs, 40 to 50%. You're not even the best cat, bruv.
Tigers.
You're wrong.
First of all, tigers and leopards don't exist in the same place unless it's really cold, like a snow leopard. I'm talking about more like a jungle in Africa where
What's
you have the
going on
lions,
here,
the
man?
hyenas, and the cheetahs.
Talking about the
But anyway, listen,
safaris
this is
now,
not
talking about
National
the-
Geographic. Regardless,
This is a
I have
great
never been.
team. Forget football. Let's talk
All
about
my
animals.
opinions that this fraud and KJ have clipped up, and they have the audacity to tell me I'm afraid of getting clipped up. I have so many strong opinions. I just called Foden overrated 5 minutes ago. Who the fuck is worried about getting clipped up? I
No,
shaved my
you're
hair.
worried about bottling
I
then.
shaved my hair in front of 3,000 people.
Tell us why
You
Liverpool
can't tell me I'm afraid.
Sorry,
I get
guys,
clipped
sorry,
up.
guys. I've Googled it, and it says here that tigers and leopards coexist in multiple areas around the world.
Yeah, I just said they do exist in cold
do
places.
exist, so-
No leopard. Yeah.
To be fair,
But
they
that's not the same.
exist in.
It's not the same as the jungle I'm talking about. But anyway, listen.
Oh,
When it comes to Arsenal fans are the hyenas because they're the
down
loudest.
in the jungle where
And they move in
nobody
packs.
goes there.
But anyway, regardless, listen, Liverpool are a very good team right now. We're the best team in Europe. We're the best team in England. We have the best player in the world. But we need to do something in the January transfer window. If we do something in the January transfer window, I'll be a lot more confident. The reason why I have to say that is because we've got two unreliable strikers, one with missing chances and the other with injuries. So that's the thing that worries me a little bit right now. So we will see what happens. But I'm
favorites in it, bro. You accept that now. Liverpool are now favorites.
sorry, say that again.
You accept though that Liverpool are now favorites in it. Please say yes, please.
I don't know yet.
Oh my God!
Too early.
Embarrassing. Wallahi, you're embarrassing.
It's too early. It's too early. It's
You're
too
an
early.
embarrassment to the footballing.
It's too early. We're only 4
Wild,
points above
bro.
Chelsea and 6 points above Arsenal.
They're
too
not
early.
Again,
favourites.
say that. Why'd you leave that
Like,
part
wild.
out?
Yeah, it's just too early because Liverpool's second half of the season is very difficult. We go to Brighton away, Brentford away,
Oh, no,
Chelsea
no,
away,
that's-
Oh, you're gonna play
City
the clubs
away.
that everyone else
we play
plays.
Arsenal at home.
Oh, check this out.
Those are all
This,
difficult
bro.
fixtures.
Listen,
Who's favourites then? Who's favourites? Go on, tell us.
Look how rattled they are. Look,
Who's
they're
who's
so
favourites?
annoying.
Go on.
I
Rattle,
love
you're
it.
just calling me out
Go
for
on.
your bullshit.
So
Who's
annoying. I
favourites?
love it.
Who's favourites?
It's too
Go on,
early.
tell us. Tell
Who's
us
favourites? Arsenal. They're the favorites.
Arsenal. Arsenal. Who are how many points behind you? How many points are they behind you?
Second favorite for me is Chelsea. Third favorite is City, and we're fourth favorite. We're the underdog. Big up Leopard Nation, rise in the chat. Big up to you guys.
Unbelievable.
You guys can cry all you want. You ain't gonna dictate to me what I say. I can
Literally
I can say
laughing.
whatever the hell I want.
Is it not wrong to lie? Is it not wrong for you to lie as a person, as a human being? Is it not wrong for you to
I'm
lie?
not lying. I say what I believe. We're the underdog.
Lies,
lies.
Leopard
Wallahi,
Nation,
you're not-
rise on the chat. I see you guys.
Say
Big up
wallahi, you're
Leopard
not the
Nation.
favorites. Say wallahi.
These are the same. They're building us up to tear us down. Igal said it publicly.
No. I'm giving you an excuse. If you don't win the league
cares
this year,
about Liga?
you can blame it on your owners for not spending money. But
Yeah,
the fact
I'm
that
blaming
you're
it on my owners
the
now.
fact that
What did
you're
I just say?
sitting
We need
here-
to sign in
No, but the
January.
fact that you're sitting here and telling us that you're not favourites for the league when you've got Mo Salah, who's the best player in the world, Van Dijk, Alisson's
We've
now
had Mo
back.
Salah for the last 4 years, and we have 0 league
It's not
titles.
that's 4 years.
And
City
and
was
how many
better.
times has City won one game in 12 during those 4-year period? Go on.
Thank you.
Oh, so yeah, there you go then. So why? But why is my
There you
competition
go.
on-
What do you mean? There you go.
Why is my competition?
Sam,
Why do you
question.
There you go.
Sam, let's agree for all just agree in Sam's jungle, right? In his tree, we're all in his tree. Let's just agree that Arsenal and Chelsea are number 1 and number 2. How are you? What is it? 9 points above City that have won one game in 12. How do you think they're still better than you as a team?
Because City is a satanic club, meaning City can go spend 150 million in January and win 20 games in a row.
Not
Do you
this
think
year.
that's going to LB? Do you think that's going to happen this year? Do you think you're going to buy in and
LB
improve?
is so negative. Ask Martin, he'll tell you yes.
Who's Martin? Who's Martin?
We won one game in 12 football matches. We have no Rodri. Our defense is a shambles. We don't score goals. And this guy tried to tell me, chat, that we're going to win 20 in a
They're
row.
linked to Ederson, Zubimendi, Bruno Guimaraes.
Thank you for not reading our sources in the last 3 days, who've all come out and said we're not getting any of those.
Not getting him. Yeah.
Oh, really? You want to make a bet? Because you're going to lose the bet with Nobbins and me.
Sam, I'm telling you, mate. Get off of National Geographic and read the sports news, bruv. Come on now.
No, bro, he's not
I
even
do
on
read
National
sports
Geographic.
news.
Get out of Jungle Book, okay? No
Bro,
more Jungle Book.
Husam, I would
I don't
agree
want to
with you.
hear. If you keep talking about letters, I'm going to call you Mowgli for the rest of the season.
Mowgli.
I will call you
Mowgli.
Mowgli for the rest of the season.
Mowgli.
We ain't signing no one. Decent.
Man like Mowgli.
Jordanian Mowgli. Talking about everyone
in
in the chat right now. His name moving forward is a Jordanian Mowgli because he doesn't want to talk about title race. He wants to sit here and educate us about hyenas and leopards incorrectly as well. He's not even giving you the correct information.
No, I am giving you the correct
Sam,
information. I can tell you correct information about all of them.
Sam, you're an embarrassment to the institution of YouTube and the institution.
Still,
of
they're so rattled. They're so rattled.
No one is rattled. I'm laughing about it more than anything.
They're boiling.
You have,
Cry.
and mashallah, you have Mo Salah healthy, playing well. You have no injury issues so far. You're saying you're not favorites to a team that lost their best player and they have 1 win in 12. And you're saying you're favorites to Arsenal, who haven't won a league in 20 years. Most of these players don't know how to win a Premier League anyways. And they just lost Saka.
We didn't win a league for
3 months to an injury. So they also lost their best player. You think you are inferior to two teams that lost their best players and not playing as good football as you. And I'm meant to believe you. And what's worse, I see people actually buy into what you're saying. The way you brainwashed your fans is an embarrassment.
I don't know why Staffy thinks I'm that influential.
Look at the chat.
Nah, you are.
Your job
this
is
guy's moving like I'm true. Yeah, Habibi, relax. I don't even have a
stream more than
influencer, bro. You're an
This
influencer.
God is more influential than me.
Show me your watch hours compared to Troops. I see you live about 6 hours a day, and then you talk about I'm not influential. So who are you talking to?
I'm not influential. Listen, I'm not influential. We just started the movement.
You are getting called Mowgli now for the rest of the season. Mowgli, bro.
Yeah, but you're just putting up the comments that agree with you. Look at the ones with the Leopard Nation. Put them up.
Oh, you are influential. There you go. Thank you.
There you
One
go.
of the ones with Leopard Nation's a Chelsea fan. CFC Steve, bro. What are you talking about, man?
No. Look at them. Forget Steve. Look at the others.
Honestly,
Look at the others. Look at Chels. Look at Redline at Tiranga. Look at all these guys.
Jordanian Tarzan.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Tarzan is an alpha male.
Tarzan was at least brave, and he used to defend his guerrilla troops or whatever the hell you call them that hurt. This guy's telling you guys hiding trees because we're not favorites.
Now you're Jane, bruv. You're Jane.
I don't even know these references. I never watched any of these cartoons.
Jane was Tarzan's girl.
Tarzan's girlfriend. You're Tarzan's girlfriend. That's
the
better.
shittest joke of the whole
LB, who are you going to sign, bruv? Who do you think you're going to sign in January? Because I've seen the same links as you, the Zubimendi's and that. You're not. Is there no noise at all?
No idea. Apparently, that Omar who's gone to United was the leaker. He was the one that got all the leaks out for the transfer news, and now he's gone. We just don't get linked to no one. So, but what we do know is, because it was a club briefing the other day, is that we're not getting Bruno, we're not getting Zubimendi, and we're not getting Edison. By the way, I don't even want Edison anyway. But you think Atalanta, who've never won a Serie A title in their whole history, finally in a title race, you think they're going to sell Edison in January? Come on, man. If they do that, they need to fold the club themselves. So they ain't selling Edison. So I don't know who we're getting, man. I don't know who we're getting. Wow. Listen, if we were out there.
Oh, everyone. Spam violence in the chat for the sad story. You're the biggest gaslighting fraud on this platform.
I'm the biggest gaslighting fraud.
You're the biggest gaslighter. Oh my God!
Right now, that you ain't winning
anyone. Oh my God! You want to bet right now? You're going to sign someone in January. Make a bet right now. If you're so certain you're not going to sign anyone, make a bet.
I think we are going to sign someone, but it's not going to be someone of the quality of Bruno G or Zubimendi. It's going to be some guy we've never heard of, man.
Oh, we're not going to sign anyone. And then 30 seconds later, after I press him, we are going to sign someone.
No, anyone in terms of someone that can make a difference. We're going to sign some guys. Sudakov from Shakhtar Donetsk apparently is who we're going to sign, man. By the way, it's absolutely horrendous.
You don't trust
you're going to rebuild for next season. I think you're going to try to get some.
We've accepted it, Staffy, that we our season's done. 100%. We're in pre-season, man, for next year. That's what we are.
I agree.
Meanwhile,
With you. I
this
think
guy's
you're gonna.
this fraud's trying to tell me I'm still in a race.
Some of the targets
you are
that
in
you
a
want in the
race.
summer LB, if they're attainable in January, I think you'll get them. In order just to get them a little bit more adapted, so they'll get an easy or an early 6-month adaptation before they go into the summer,
Facts.
which was the original plan.
Exactly.
I
We just
think
need to get top
your
5
clubs
now.
right now, they're too smart to say, "Oh, we can still win the league this season." All sights are on next season. I think they'll start in January if they could. Maybe one or two signings that will benefit you for next season.
I agree. Facts. Yeah, congratulations.
You're not a gaslighter, LB. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not
Gaslighter.
gaslighter. This guy's the biggest gaslighter on his platform, and then tells everyone else they're gaslighters.
You know what's funny, Staffy? You are doing this just to piss me off, and it's not going to work.
Wallahi, I'm not.
If you want the definition of gaslighting, LB in last season's title race, by the way.
Is this Husam's going to tell everyone how to understand how
he was already, by the way, just so I tell you the gaslighting levels.
Explain.
LB last season said that City are not going to win the league, Arsenal or Liverpool are. And you know what he was doing last season? Because Liverpool had the bigger goal difference than City, he started adding 3 points. Essentially, because of goal difference, let's add 3 points to Liverpool. Oh, look, they're 9 points ahead of us, not 6, and then we ended up losing the league.
Do you know how that works in it, Staffy? You know, if we end the league, on the same amount of points, but Liverpool ended on on a higher goal difference, in it, I need more points. Thank you. Obviously, Husam's only won one. Sorry, Staffy. Husam's quite new to this. They've only won 1 Premier League, and no one was there to even celebrate it. So you don't really fully understand how that winning league titles works and that. So I get we all understand it Husam's still a little bit new to this, man. Yeah.
Staffy,
I come here in peace, man. What are you trying to beef me for? I come here.
I watched a lot of them when I was younger. Doesn't it? What? Because I got older, it doesn't count no more.
Yeah, but you were 16 at the time. I don't trust you now when you're 30.
Remember when I was 16?
Boys, let's just jump into some already super chats here, right? As much as I'm enjoying this, this is a leopard's most dangerous adversary is a lion. Chelsea has a lion in their badge.
My God.
Chelsea are the meerkats in the image, by the way, just so you know.
Hang on, how can they be the meerkats when they're favourites ahead of you?
Because we're the underdog, we're in the tree.
Yeah, but how can they be the meerkat? A leopard's never been underdog to a meerkat, has it?
Chelsea's the lion. Man City is the lion with a scar right now, but they're still the lion.
Oh my God, yes, so
we've been hit by a poacher.
What's the Liverpool logo? What's that bird?
Liver bird.
Isn't that a mythical bird? Like it's not even a real bird.
Yeah, it's similar to a peacock.
So you're a mythical creature. You a peacock.
Is it?
Yeah, Habibi, you literally have shaitan on your crest. Don't talk. Be quiet.
Well, that's not the point. My point is that you should be stronger than a lion with that crest.
Don't talk. It's not about the crests, Habibi. It's a mythical bird.
Yeah, see, that mythical bird is stronger than a meerkat. You should win.
Who you challenging when City are out, Husam?
The City are out according to you, Aya, not to me.
He doesn't think they're out. This here, Mix Mitchell says we're going to win the league. He's a Liverpool fan. He's giving it some chest. Thank you for being a member of the Football Terrace. Go on, mate.
Chest out.
Go
on, son.
Normal fan.
Yeah, your chest out for the lads. Go on, son. Can't say that anymore in public. Get arrested. Not even to blokes. What a master level troll, Husam. You can't believe that Husam, you can't believe that everyone is buying your bullshit. Yeah, no one's buying it.
Unfortunately, Nate, a lot of people are.
Don, I love you, bro, but I'd rather Liverpool be a crocodile.
Crocodile is worse. Crocodile is worse than a leopard because crocodile is in the water all the time. And if it comes out of the water, it's screwed.
No, it's not. They're very fast animals. You don't watch enough. You don't watch national.
I do. When they come out of the water, they are screwed a lot of the time.
Why are they screwed?
Why?
Because crocodiles only they're the best hunters in water. Them and they coexist with hippos in the water, but they're the best hunters while they're in the water. That's why they wait for the animal to come to the water.
I'll Google it again. Google it again. It says here, crocodiles are extremely dangerous out of water, especially the large crocodiles and saltwater crocodiles. They have tremendous speed for the side of their legs. You don't know what you're just gaslighting us because you've got a degree in something else. You're not an expert on animals, Don.
I'm not gaslighting. I'm not gaslighting.
When's the last time you saw a crocodile in Jordan?
I've never seen a leopard in Jordan either, or a lion.
So don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Habibi, what do you want to mention? Animals in Jordan? Scorpions, yani?
Leopards in the tree, yet he wants Chelsea fans to say they are in the race.
Yeah, but you are in the race.
Husam, you already won. You got these frauds talking about Animal Planet, laughing my ass
They're
off.
so rattled. They're so rattled. I
Well, no,
love it.
he brought up the animals and then said he was an expert, and we just debunked him.
Yeah, big up the leopard and
It's
three,
acting,
man.
man.
That's crazy. We are the eagle flying so high, by the way. Big up to all of you and Merry Christmas. Thank you, Chombai. Thank you, bro. Classic LB argument. If they win the league, that doesn't disprove my point. If they don't win the league, that proves my point.
That is the best argument to have, isn't it? Where you can't
That's
lose.
why he's a gaslighter, ladies and gentlemen.
No. But also, you actually agree with my point, innit? So
He does.
Yeah, we have to sign someone.
yeah, there you go.
He's our Jordanian Tarzan. Rise up. Who?
Nat Geo gang.
Nat
Let's
Geo
go.
gang. Nat Geo.
Let's
Yeah. Terry, clip this super chat. Liverpool are favourites, but they will not win anything this season. If they win a trophy this season, I will send him $200 come May the 30th. Come on, you Gooners. I mean, you could
Perfect, Chai. I agree with you. We're
send it to the terrace, though, and we'll make sure he gets it. Is the way out.
He's not gonna do that. Send it to me, Chai.
No, yeah.
But
Sam,
send it to me. So let's talk.
the almighty Jordanian Tarzan. There we go.
Big up
Oh,
the leopard
dude,
community.
come on,
Always
brother.
never letting me down. Let's go.
LB, funny as shit, that poacher line. Yeah, that poacher line was definitely underrated. That was very, very good.
That's why I said it's the scarred lion.
No, the poacher line was better, Sam. The world class means the best 100 players in the world. That's a lot of players.
That's a lot.
If it's the best 100 players, then Yazan Naimat is world class.
Well, you know, Fergie, in 26 years of coaching, he said he only seen 2 world-class players play for him. And he said it was Ronaldo and Scholes. Yeah, Mohammed, do you think there's 100 world-class players today?
That's mad. That's
insane.
mad.
That's because everyone had, as you say, everyone has a different standard, don't they? Do you know what I mean? This January, we need to get a wing back. Delo, Malacia are not good enough. Would love Nori or Kirkez, or maybe buy back Fernandez. Yeah,
I'd be so pissed off if you got Nori because he's so good.
Yeah, I
I
don't
like
know why
it.
he's got Wolves.
Did you not see the fighting that they're doing in Wolves? They're gonna blow up that shit for sure. For sure.
City will sign Expressions. I don't get it.
He can. I've seen this guy move. You know what I mean? He can actually get about. So
yeah, got a lot of passion. So
the way that City are going, Expressions might sign for Liverpool.
What?
The way City are going, Expressions might sign for Liverpool because he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Look, we're going to give out 5 free memberships.
He's a Spurs fan. He doesn't want Arsenal to win the league. The way City are going, he might sign for Liverpool.
Well, you don't have to explain it, innit? It's fine.
Yeah, you want to be spoon-fed fucking English?
Yeah, that was on my highlight of 2000.
Who's rattled now? What are you talking about?
Call as you like. I evade every press unlike you, gaslighter.
You know what's funny? He just said Expression will sign for Liverpool. Yeah, he sat here for an hour and a half telling us Liverpool are not the favorites.
Yeah, we're not the favorites. Try, mate.
We're gifting out 5 memberships here for all the super chats we got in today, and they are going today to. You got to DM me so I get your email address so we can add you to the new membership platform. But I need your email address. So DM me on Twitter or Instagram. We'll get that done. But Ronin, AMT, Sam Ritchie, Nate, and Gav, you have all been selected out of the super chatters today for that. So make sure you DM me your details and we'll get you added to the membership group where we're going to do some watch parties over the course of Christmas and some things like that. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to sit and chat football with you all. So our viewers, super chatters, everyone who's hit the like button, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I want to wish everybody that is celebrating, everybody that is with friends and family, a very merry and joyous Christmas. If you're not, well, just enjoy Wednesday. Have a good time, whatever you're doing. Enjoy yourselves. We're back on Boxing Day. Actually, we've got some content coming out tomorrow. A very big show with myself and KJ, with a little bit of an announcement coming out on Christmas Day tomorrow. But then back for the Boxing Day match reactions as well. I love Boxing Day football. It's genuinely the best day of the year when it comes to this sport. Gentlemen, Merry Christmas to all of you. If you're not celebrating it, have a great day anyway. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.